Okay, let's start with this quote. Tuning in. Two eyes closed and one eye open. Kind of strange, right? It's this fascinating idea that, to really see things clearly, sometimes you have to look in a totally different way. Or maybe not even look at all.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, a totally different kind of sight. We're going to look at how both nature and, believe it or not, our own tech use illusion and misdirection, not just to get by, but to actually survive and, well, thrive.
So our guide for this whole exploration, it's this absolutely magnificent creature, the polyphemus moth. Now, its fancy scientific name is Antheria polyphemus, and yeah, it's one of the biggest silk moths in North America. But the really cool part is where its name comes from. It's named after Polyphemus, the famous one-eyed cyclops from Greek mythology. And trust me, once you see its wings, you'll totally get why.
This whole thing brings up a really fundamental tension you see all over nature. On one hand, you have survival through clarity, seeing the world exactly as it is. But then there's this whole other strategy, survival by disguise. Basically tricking everyone into seeing something that just isn't there. And guess which one our moth is an absolute master of? Yep, that second path.
So how does it pull this off? Well, it all comes down to its most famous feature, the eye spots. And let me tell you, these things are an absolute masterclass in misdirection.
Now get this, these aren't eyes for seeing with. No, they're eyes for being seen. So when a predator shows up, the moth just flashes these two huge purplish spots on its hind wings. It's called a startle pattern. It's basically mimicry. It's designed to look just like the head of a way bigger, scarier predator, something like a great horned owl. The whole point is just to confuse that attacker for a split second, just long enough for the moth to get away, even if its wings get a little nicked in the process. I mean, it's a brilliant, brilliant illusion.
And this just perfectly illustrates that core idea, right? For the moth, disguise is survival. It protects its vulnerable little body by projecting this big, scary illusion. But, and this is the kicker, this strategy isn't just for the forest floor. It's actually starting to show up in the tools we build.
Yep, that exact same strategy is now popping up in the world of AI. It's like our digital tools are growing their own eyespots. These features that are designed to manage or hide or protect what's being seen, both by us and by the systems themselves.
Let's just look at a few examples so you can see what I mean. Think about Google Gemini's temporary chats. That's basically an eye spot for your privacy, right? It makes all your rough draft thinking just disappear. Or what about Claude's artifacts feature? It lets you show off this clean, perfect final result while totally hiding the messy, back-and-forth process it took to get there. And NotebookLM's video overview. It shields you from all the heavy, complex details by just giving you a simple summary. Every single one is like a digital wing, distracting from one thing to protect something else.
Okay, so these digital eye spots are super helpful for sure, but they bring up a really crucial question about our own thinking. What do we actually lose when that messy, private journey of discovery turns into some kind of public performance?
And look, this isn't just some theoretical thing. I mean, right now, literally thousands of public ChatGPT chats are indexed by Google and other search engines. All of our rough questions, our dead ends, our mistakes, they're all becoming part of this permanent public record.
So it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are we trading the privacy of our own thoughts for convenience and a bit of visibility? Are we giving up that quiet, private space that we need for real, genuine thinking, all in exchange for the power these amazing tools give us?
That's a pretty serious challenge, I know. But there is a way to respond, and it requires us to defend something that's just deeply human, and that's wonder. It's all about consciously taking back that space we need to think, to explore, and just to play, without feeling like we have an audience.
I absolutely love this quote from the poet Rosemary Wathola Traumer. Wonder isn't about getting the right answer or hitting some target. It's about the process. It's about letting yourself be in that totally open-ended, playful state where you just follow your curiosity wherever it goes. It's the exact opposite of a performance. It's a totally private exploration.
So here's a cool little activity to put this all into practice. It's called an eye spot map.
Just grab a picture of a polyphemus moth. On those big, flashy eye spots, I want you to write down all the things you project to the world. Your polished work, your confident takes. Then, on the moth's body, the vulnerable part, label what you're trying to protect. Maybe it's your half-baked ideas, your doubts, your private learning process. It's a really powerful way to actually see that difference for yourself.
So, as we're thinking about what we project versus what we protect, we really have to face the big question here, the ultimate stakes of this whole new world. What really happens when our entire learning journey becomes public?
And maybe the answer is right here in this final thought. Maybe the goal isn't to always have the perfect, polished answer to project to everyone. Maybe, just like that moth, we need our own eye spots, our own ways to protect the space we need to just be uncertain. Because the real buzz, the thing that really matters, it isn't in being right. It's in being curious enough to ask again and again.